let's make lemonade. Okay. Let's go to work.
That's the signal! Go, 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 go!
Six!
It's beautiful! Mother Nature just pissed her pants, dude!
Wake up and hit the ground running. It's The Rush, presented by Willis Auto, with Travis Justice and Ross Peterson bringing you raw, unfiltered, and unapologetic talk about sports, life, and everything else that matters. No filtered, no fluff, just The Rush.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. Good to have you here on a Thursday. If you're listening on the audio stream at therushradio.com, on the Rush Radio Android app or the TuneIn app, thank you so much. If you're watching on YouTube this morning, hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and give this video a like. Leave your comments in the comment section. And, of course, you can follow us on our social media channels, which would be Facebook, X, Instagram, and now TikTok. Rush listeners, I do want to tell you one thing, that we talk winning, and nobody wins like Willis Automotive. From luxury to everyday dependability, Willis has the ride that fits your lifestyle. Stop by Willis in Des Moines and experience the Willis way. Exceptional service, unmatched selection, and people who truly care. And if you visit Ross Peterson, the Willis Automotive Facebook page today, you're going to see us in a Defender.
How about that?
Yeah.
Fun little ride we took. Yeah. I've been out at Willis lately. Got the Jeep out there right now, using one of their loaner cars, driving around in a Volkswagen.
Oh, what kind of Volkswagen are you driving around?
Taos, I think it's called.
Okay.
And Audrey climbs in it, and she goes, "Dad, this is a German car." And I said, "Audrey, you're right. How did you know that?" She goes, "From commercials." I said, "Well, advertising works."
Well, that shows you that advertising works, and maybe TV can be an educational tool, right? It's like, okay.
The first song that Eli could sing, he's 15 now. So, I mean, we're talking 13 years ago or whatever it was when he first started getting verbal. The very first song he sang was not the alphabet song. I swear to God. We're driving in the car one day, and all of a sudden from the backseat, he goes, $5, $5 foot long, any. Like, damn, Subway has worm-brained my kid.
Coming up before this half hour ends, we're going to play a jingle for you that may be rather catchy, and people will be singing in their cars and maybe teach their kids. But that's going to come up at the bottom of the hour, just to give you a little teaser. You're going to want to stick around for this because it's quite creative. It's
just an audio commercial that we have so far, right?
Yes, because they're going to put some video to it.
All right,
but
it's glorious. We'll just leave it at that.
It's glorious. And it's awesome, and I think you're going to look forward to hearing it. Coming up later in the show, Bruno's going to hop on with us at 7 o'clock. We did a flip-flop today, so Bruno's going to jump on at 7 o'clock. Then Todd Stepsis, head coach of the Northern Iowa Panther football team, going to join us at 7:30. The final game for the Panthers coming up on Saturday against Youngstown State. A chance to pull off an upset and maybe end the season on a high note. So, again, Todd Stepsis is going to be joining us at 7:30. Ross, Field of Dreams. Field of Dreams. The iCubs are going to be playing at the Field of Dreams in Dyersville coming up on August 11th, 2026. Going to take on the St. Paul Saints. First minor league game at Dyersville since 2022. I like this. It's good. This field should get used more.
I mean, I like that the field's getting used. Yeah, sure. iCubs doing something special. That's kind of a neat thing. I don't know. I'm not sure what kind of a draw it is. I mean, when I can go 2 miles and watch the Iowa Cubs, it's going to be really hard for me to justify going all the way to Dyersville. I haven't been to Dyersville in a long time, so I shouldn't speak about the accommodations or amenities or anything like that because I haven't been there since I was a little kid, and it was it was just the movie site that you went there to play catch with your dad on the field. So I don't know what I saw this last night. It I'll be honest, it kind of moved past my field of vision, and I thought, okay, it didn't move the needle for me. I'll tell you that.
Well,
I'm with you. I'm glad that they're using the field. I don't mean to knock it. I'm sure lots of Iowa Cubs fans are going to go over there and really enjoy it. And again, I haven't been over there. I haven't been over there for a while, and I need to get over there for a game because the place looks, from the videos I've seen of it, it looks amazing.
I would say this. I don't think the game is probably for people like you, meaning you go to a number of Iowa Cubs games. You see them. I think it's more of an experience that people maybe outside the Des Moines Metro can enjoy. Maybe bring in more from Eastern Iowa, even maybe some of those Illinois, some of those Wisconsin people. I don't look at it as a game per se where you're like, well, I can go watch the iCubs. I think it's just more of an experience to put a game there, to go, hey, let's go watch a game at Dyersville. You could have probably put two teams. They put into 2022, I think the Cedar Rapids Colonels played there. They played somebody. But it's more of that just experience more than it is the AAA game. I've got a confession to make. I've never been to Dyersville. I've never been to the Field of Dreams. Is it worth it? I mean, to me, movie sets have never done it for me. I've been to Universal Studios and stuff, and I remember leaving Universal Studios going, okay, that was Jaws. It was the mechanical shark. It didn't do anything for me.
He's going to propose when Jaws popped out.
And usually when I see something that was famous, like on film or something, it's a huge disappointment. Like you're like, well, this isn't what I remember from the movie. I paint this picture in my head of a movie, and I'm like, I want Shoeless Joe Jackson walking out of the frickin' cornfield. That's what I want. I want
Ray Liotta.
Yeah. Where's Ray?
I want to hear James Earl Jones talk to me.
Yeah.
Trav, when I went there as a kid, it was a lot closer to the movie. The movie, that was a really important movie in my life, I think is the right way to say it. I was probably, what year did that movie come out? We love playing this game.
Was that 1989? I'm going to say 1989.
I was going to say, 1989. So I'd have been 11. So the movie was real, and a huge baseball fan, and Iowa was home. So that movie really struck a chord with me. We used to go up to Wisconsin to the farm to see my grandma and grandpa, and we would stop at Dyersville and play catch on the field for a little while. I remember, I think part of what ruined it for me was the corporate fight that they got into. I mean, at one point there was like Field of Dreams and then Field of Dreams left field. Because, at one point the field was owned, the actual field was owned by two different families. Left field actually cut into another family's farm. And so they were like, wait a minute, you're making money off of this. We can make money off it. So they both put up souvenir stands. I think they solved all that long time ago. But, I haven't been back in a long, long time. Again, I saw this yesterday, and it was one of those things that I saw it, and I scrolled past it. And I thought, okay, they're gonna continue to milk that cow. And I mean, do kids even know Field of Dreams anymore?
That's a good question. Do kids even know Field of Dreams anymore? I know Owen is watching, but Owen's a man now. Owen's 26 years old, so it's not like he's still a kid to me, but he's a man now, so he's
old, dude. Owen is 26.
He's 26, and so I don't know if 10, 11, 12-year-olds today have the appreciation for Field of Dreams like you did when you were 11 years old. Or, in 1989, when that movie came out, I was probably 18. I was going on 19. It still had a pretty good impact on me, but I don't think it's had an impact on my kids. I don't know if parents say, hey, you got to sit down and watch this, or even if they would get that. Because, the truth is, when I watched Field of Dreams, even when I was 18, 19 years old, I didn't understand the underlying meaning. To me, it was about baseball. It was like It was learning more about Shoeless Joe Jackson and some of these old players. I didn't understand the true meaning behind Field of Dreams. It's a baseball movie, but it's a forgiveness movie. It is a dynamic, a family movie. That's so much baseball. When you watch it the first time and you're young, you're like, oh, look at the baseball, look at the old time stuff. And then when you get old like me, you go, oh, it's about so much more than just baseball.
I can hear James Earl Jones. Moonlight Graham. You saw it. What a great movie it was. What a great movie. when he goes up to Minnesota and he's walking through the town, then all of a sudden he is transported in time. He's quantum leaped back to the 50s or whatever it is, and he actually gets to meet. And then Burt Lancaster, what a role. Dude, that's one of those roles. I'm getting chills right now remembering that. When Burt Lancaster is talking to him about baseball, he says, I'm not sure why I'm here, but I think it's to ask you, if you could go back, if you had one more chance, what would you do? And he goes to that whole thing of, I think I'd get in the box. I'd give the pitcher a wink. Let him think I know something he doesn't know. I'd hit a ball down the right field line. Round second. As I dove into third, I'd wrap my arms around that base. It's just, that, I'm not much for actors. I'm not much for like, oh man, that guy, that's a great role. That guy's a great actor. You watch that and you're like, oh, that's what acting is. Because he's that man. He's not Burt Lancaster. Yeah. He's Doc Graham in that moment. But the getting up there, Travis, I really should probably take the kids sometime. Has Audrey seen it?
Well, if you said you haven't been there in a number of years, I wouldn't believe Audrey has seen it.
No, I don't mean the field. I mean the movie.
The movie.
I mean the movie.
Probably wouldn't hold her attention span that long.
Maybe. I'm going to give that a shot. Oh, dude from Iowa. But baseball, Ray. Baseball stood the test of time. Wow. Oh. James Earl Jones.
And nobody else could have played that part, right? James Earl Jones was like the guy that had to play that part. Just because of the voice.
Oh, man. What was the writer's name? I remember thinking that he was
Mann.
Terrence Mann. Terrence Mann. I remember getting out of the movie and thinking, I'm going to find that guy's books. He wasn't real. He wasn't real.
Moonlight Graham was real, though, right? Moonlight Graham was real?
He was a real guy. Yeah, okay. That's a real story of a guy that got into a game and never got an at-bat. Now, whether he became a doctor or not in Minnesota, I think that's true, too. I think that whole storyline of that is true. Just like the shoeless Joe Jackson and all the, the 8 men that were kicked out of baseball. And what's the line? Ty Cobb wanted to play, but none of us could stand the son of a bitch when we were alive, so we told him to stick it.
And that classic Ray Liotta laugh, right? It was a flashback to Goodfellas when he did that laugh.
Oh, yeah, it was. I didn't. Yes, you're right.
Right. Yeah, but I've never been to Dyersville. I probably should go at some point in my life because Dyersville has another thing that I would like to see, and they have a beautiful Catholic church in Dyersville. It has 2 steeples on it. It's very popular when people go there. So I could do my church tour, and I could go see Field of Dreams. You got like 2 cathedrals in Dyersville. And
I didn't know, Travis, that a difference between a cathedral and a church.
Well, it's not. I don't believe that is a cathedral. It's not a cathedral in Dyersville. I believe it is a regular church. Because Des Moines' lucky. Des Moines has a cathedral and has a basilica, and so.
Can you tell me what the difference? So I didn't know that a cathedral, from an aerial view, a cathedral's construction looks like a cross.
I believe so, and it's also like the mother church of the diocese, right? So you have. You have an archdiocese, you have a diocese, you have the Des Moines diocese, and each diocese has a cathedral. Not everybody has a basilica. And I believe they needed a basilica. Correct me if I'm wrong, my fellow Catholics out there. But like the Pope, when he comes to a place, there has to be a basilica wherever he celebrates Mass. Well, remember, the Pope came to Des Moines in, 1978, and he was at Living History Farms. And I believe the basilica has a lot to do with the artwork that's inside of there and some other things.
It says a basilica is a church with special status granted by the Pope, while a cathedral is the principal church of a diocese and the seat of a bishop. There you go.
There you go.
There you go. That's Catholic why you tune into the Rush, folks. That's
Catholic
why you tune
talk.
into the Rush right there. You get up at 6 a.m., you flip on the Rush so you can learn more about cathedrals and basilicas. I love
we went
it.
really to two religions. You had baseball as a religion right into like real religion. But
And now you know the rest of the story.
We were talking about Paul Harvey before we went on the air, but Ross and I were both surprised because we said, when did Paul Harvey die? And I said, what, 1998?
Yeah, which I would have thought it was around there. Yeah, 2009.
Yeah. He was, 91 years old?
Yeah, 91. And then we were wondering, like, did he write all of the rest of the stories? And it found out, no, he had a writer. It was his son. Paul Harvey Jr. was the one that wrote a lot of the rest of the stories for him, and then he would just basically perform them. Now, obviously, he's the one that got it started. He kind of set the format in place, got the ball rolling. His son one day was like, Dad, this is kind of fun. I'm going to help you out with that, and started writing them for him.
Do you ever think those two got in a fight like, what are you writing here? That's not my voice. What are you doing?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably, like fathers and sons do. I worked for my dad for a while. It almost ended horribly.
Dad, this isn't for me.
I shouldn't say it almost ended horribly. It did end horribly about 4 times. It ended horribly. Did I ever tell you the time I walked out of work?
No.
Oh, dude. We were finishing basements in Copper Creek. They'd just finished the Copper Creek development, and my dad finished a basement. And they told their neighbors, "Hey, Dave Peterson and his boys finished my basement. You should." So we literally moved from like house to house to house for a while in Copper Creek, finishing basements, and it was essentially the same sort of work. You know what I mean? There were different trims and things like that, and different layouts, but for the most part, it was the same sort of work. And I remember one particular time we were just finishing up this one basement, and we were trimming doors one day. And on like Tuesday, my dad's like, Ross, you're going to work side by side with me today, and we're going to do this. And so, you measure the inside of the door frame, you leave about a 1/4 inch gap, you cut a 45-degree angle, you set your top piece of trim. Like there's a rhythm to it, right? Now watch Dad do it all day. I helped him out all day Tuesday. And then the next day, Dad's like, all right, Ross, you're going to do the same sort of thing on these doors over here, but don't get started. I want to be there with you. And I'm like, Dad, I can do this.
I got it, Dad.
I did it all day yesterday. I did it. I know how to do it. I can do it. He's like, you just slow down. I'm going to do it with you. And of course, being like 19, I'm like, I can do it. You don't need to watch me work. And he's like, no, you're not going to do this by yourself. And I'm like, if you don't let me do it by myself, I don't know why I even work for you. You don't even trust me. I'm leaving. It was like December 15th. It's probably 9 degrees outside. And I storm out of the basement. I'm going to be a man. I'm going to be independent. I didn't drive to work that day.
Did you walk home?
Tyson had picked me up that morning and drove me to the job site. And of course, I tried to go back in and be like, hey, Tyson. He's like, you're on your own, bro. You left. I need this job. I got kids at home. I need this job. I ain't leaving. So yeah, I walked home. Luckily, my best friend Scott, he was a teacher. He works in the school district, and he was they were in Christmas break. But I found a bike trail, started walking on the bike trail, and called him. I'm like, hey, are you working? No, I'm like, can you come pick me up? I quit working for Dad today. That happened.
What's the longest you ever went with? So you and your dad obviously weren't a good mix when you worked together. Did you ever go long periods of time without talking to your dad? Like you're like, we're going to give each other the silent treatment.
Never more than probably a month. You know what I mean? I was angry, dude. I've said this a lot. I've tried to prepare like Courtney for this. Boys are different, dude. And I think I wonder if most guys are this way. Like, man, it took me till about 25 to really start to realize what kind of man my dad is. To realize, first of all, how hard life is, how hard being an adult is, and how easy he made it look, even when it wasn't, even when it was really hard. How much grace he showed me, how much love he showed me, how great he was at building a community. He was a stalwart of our town in Pleasant Hill. He was a part of the city council and a president of the Little League, and built a business and ran a hardware store. I mean, like, on and on and on and on. He just he is an amazing man. And when you're 15, it's impossible to understand that. And by the way, at that time in my life, at 20 years old, he's trying to build a business that he can hand off to my brother and I. Well, I didn't want to swing a hammer. You know, I wanted to do something different. And so it was hard for me to understand. And I think most boys go through that. Like, I tried to tell Courtney, because I'm like, your son is 15 now. Tucker's 15. I'm like, you're going to have about a decade here where you're going to be like, I've lost my kid. I've lost my little boy. He'll come back around. He'll come. It'll happen. So I'm wondering if most guys are that way.
Oh, absolutely. I thought for a long time my son didn't love me, right? I mean, and I was pretty hard on him. And the truth is, we talk now probably more than ever. He comes over to the house now a lot more, which is good. And but yeah, there was, from about age 15 to, I don't know, 23, 24, you're like, dude, you know, always just button heads.
Yeah, and all my fault. I mean, like I've said it many times, I'm so lucky my dad did just come over and just pop my head off my neck like a dandelion.
Now, I'm not
many
one
times
to talk.
he should have.
No, I'm not one to talk, because I stopped talking to my dad. I didn't talk to my dad for 26 years. Never talked to him even before he passed away. But I did that for a number of reasons. My dad was mentally ill. He was an alcoholic. He was an abusive person. And it was just, if I wanted to break the cycle of dysfunction within my own family and not repeat the history there, I just needed to step away. And I made that conscious choice. I've talked about it a lot on the show, and I have no regrets doing that. I think my kids are better for it. I think my marriage is better for it, because my marriage suffered a lot because of the dysfunction that happened in my family. But everybody's different. But for the most part, if you can, that's why I don't. When O and I weren't like getting along, and sometimes it was probably in his head we were just fine, probably because he's just going through his adolescent stuff.
Yeah.
And as a parent, you're like, oh my God, I'm losing it. It's slipping away.
That's the conversation I've been having with friends lately. Is because as a parent, you're like, man, I feel I used to have this great little 13-year-old kid that loved being around me, and I'm like, hey, I was a total shithead for about a decade. It takes you a while, because man, what is it about boys, especially when we're in that late teen? Man, it's the know everything. It is. We go through that phase of like, I got the world by the tail. I'm gonna be golden.
I know more than you.
I know so much more than the rest of these fools around me. It's Dunning-Kruger, dude. It's the Dunning-Kruger effect. You just become an adult and you're like, psh, got it figured out. And then about 2 years later, you're like, oh, I don't know shit. Oh, crap. I got to learn a lot of stuff here. Dad, can you help me? I need help.
Can you help me out of here? 515-517-2303. Now, we talk about Central City Liquor a lot on this show, a lot. And, you know, we've done our show live from Central City Liquor. We had the Knob Creek Rush Radio release. We've got a Maker's Mark coming out. We talk about all the great things that happened at Central City Liquors. If you listen to the show on a regular basis, you know how creative some of their commercials are. But the truth is they're getting dated. And we've kind of said to Brian, hey, you've lost a lot of weight since then, and you might want to update those. So they've been talking to Choice Creative, because Choice Creative is the place you want to get your creative work done, and they've started coming up with new ideas. And we got a little snippet last night of what's on the horizon. They're making new commercials.
By the way, I want to give real quick credit to our buddy Ken Payne.
Yeah,
who Ken was with us at the radio station when we got launched here. Ken came and joined us as one of our sales guys. We've got a team over there at Choice Creative with Jeff Klein and Brandon, but Ken was a coup for us, man. When Ken decided to leave the radio station, a lot of people wanted to have him join their team, and we were lucky enough to recruit him to come to Choice Creative and be part of the Rush family. So that was really neat last night when Brian Duack sent us what you're about to play. and you're like, wow, this is amazing. He wrote back, that's all our boy Ken Payne.
Now, what I like about Brian with the commercials they run, they think outside the box. They're not traditional, right? You see a lot of traditional advertising, but they're a little bit different. And we're going to play just the audio portion of it. There will be video to come with this in a little bit, but just listen to the creative genius behind the new Central City Liquor commercial.
Start spreading the news, 'cause it's time to buy booze, and there's only one place to be. You can see all your friends, the good times never end, unless you're just loitering. It's Central City, we can make your dreams come true. No guarantee your dreams will come true. Central City, all this booze is waiting for you. Look at all this booze.
The fact that they get loitering in there is beautiful. Just absolutely beautiful.
Dude,
Make all your dreams come true. No guarantee your dreams will come true.
I've said this so many times. It deserves to be said every time we talk about Central City Liquors. And it's not just the Duax family. I want to say Tom and Brian Duax, but man, the Todd father, the whole group over there, that epitomizes what it is to go to Central City Liquor. It's fun. It's great quality. I mean,
They'll treat you like family.
They will treat you like family. In the same way that you're going to hate your dad for 10 years, Central City Liquors is going to treat you like that. You're going to walk in the door and you're going to go, I promise you. I used to love taking people there for the first time. And then it was almost like taking your kid to Disney. I'm not joking. If you've been to Central City Liquors, the fun is to take somebody and watch their reaction. Walk in the door before them and turn around. And watch them walk through the doors, and they'll walk in and be like, okay, it's a liquor store on 2nd Avenue. What am I missing here? What's so special about this place? And it takes about 60 seconds for them to go, oh, this place is freaking awesome. This place has got it, dude. It's the people, it's the prices, it's the products.
It's the neighborhood.
It's everything.
The customers.
It's the feeling of it.
Good job.
I listened to that
Payne.
last night. I'm like, this is freaking perfect. Perfect for those guys.
515-517-2303. Bruno going to be hopping on with us at 7 o'clock. Todd Stepsis, head coach of the Northern Iowa Panthers, at 7:30. We've got some basketball coming up tonight at Carver Hawkeye at the Knapp Center in Orlando. We'll talk about all that when we come back on the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
The Rush Radio is now on the free TuneIn app, allowing you to enjoy the show on Apple products and Android Auto. Download the free TuneIn app and search The Rush Radio to take Travis and Ross wherever you go.
'Tis the season to share great taste. Grab a refreshing Coca-Cola and make every moment a celebration. Locally made, nationally loved, Coca-Cola is the real deal when it comes to holiday cheer. Whether you're kicking back after the game or hosting the crew, nothing hits like that crisp, fizzy taste. Make this season yours. Grab an ice-cold Coca-Cola today.
With over 260 beers on tap, El Bait Shop isn't just another craft beer bar. It's the best. Beer lovers know. El Bait Shop, 200 Southwest 2nd, Des Moines.
There's a new spin on casual dining near Drake University. Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers. Craveable faves, flatbreads, delicious burgers, frozen cocktails, and a crazy cool vibe. Get to Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers today.
My name's Gary Presnell, and I'm a residential home mortgage banker for Northwest Bank in Des Moines Metro Market. I've been financing people's homes for over 25 years, and I'm an expert in financing VA loans, FHA loans, IFA loans, and new construction homes. This is my cat Norm. Norm knows football, but he doesn't know mortgage. And that's where I come in. There are a lot of Tom, Dick, and Norms out there doing loans. So don't just trust anyone with your home loan. I'm your local, trusted, experienced expert.
Loans. Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
After Hawkeye football games this fall, Travis and Ross are right where they belong, with you taking your calls and giving unfiltered feedback. Right after Hawkeye football games, it's the Black and Gold Rush on the rushradio.com, the TuneIn app, and on YouTube.
Hey everybody, Mason Miller, sales manager out here at Willis Infinity, and this month we invite you to join us on our Once in a Wintertime sales event. Fall into savings this month by leasing an all-new 2026 QX60 Lux for as low as $799 a month for 24 months with just $5,000 down. Also take advantage of the 2.9% rate that Infinity is offering on both 2026 QX60 and QX80, and an additional $3,000 off of the new 2026 QX80. For more information, come say hi in our showroom or visit us online at willisinfinity.com.
Get ready for a gemtastic day at Fiscus Jewelers. Join us Saturday, November 22nd from 9 to 3 for a gem trunk show you won't want to miss. It's the perfect time to pick up your favorite gemstone and create a custom piece for the holidays. Plus, take $250 off a custom design for this day only. We'll have fun giveaways throughout the day. So if you're looking for that perfect gem, we've got you covered. It's a gemtastic show like no other. Fiscus Jewelers, your jeweler for life.
The best bread is made from scratch, freshly baked with locally sourced ingredients and love. At Big Sky Bakery, we take great pride in our delicious products. We know you'll enjoy them almost as much as we enjoy baking them. Find us at the downtown Des Moines Farmers Market every Saturday.
Looking for the perfect golf escape? Experience links-style golf right here in Ames at Coldwater Golf Links. With rolling fairways, large greens, and unique routing, it's golf the way it's meant to be played. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, you'll love our course's welcoming atmosphere and friendly staff. Grab your clubs, book a tee time, and make every round unforgettable. Coldwater Golf Links, where great golf leads to great memories. Visit coldwatergolf.com to book your round today.
Back to the Rush. Strong opinions, weak filters, and just enough sense to stay on the air. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Of course, the holiday season is right around the corner. You may be looking for some family stuff to do, and we have just the thing to do, brought to you by the Atlantic Coca-Cola Bottling Company. So get ready to experience the magic of the season as the Coca-Cola Holiday Caravan is rolling into central Iowa, bringing thousands of sparkling lights, festive cheer, and unforgettable holiday moments. Since 1997, the iconic caravan has been a beloved tradition across the U.S., and it's now your turn to enjoy the joy. Photos with Santa, create memories that last a lifetime, free holiday portraits, perfect for your family celebrations. These events are open to the public and free of charge, so invite your friends and family to join the fun and make the holiday season brighter and better. It's going to be in town November 26th through December 1st. Just go to the Atlantic Coca-Cola Bottling Facebook page, Instagram page, find out where the caravan is going to be.
Irish Hawk thought I walked out just like I did when I was working with my dad.
No, he didn't walk out on me. He had to take a poop.
How'd you know that?
Did you really?
You know me so well.
I just guessed. I'm like, oh, right. Ross had to take a poop. He's taking a little bit longer.
I thought maybe you saw me clenching during the last segment.
It's like, hurry up, Travis. Get the break. Get the break. Get the break. Come on, man. Come on. Turtle showing its head. Let's go. Oh, man. You know, Ross, I'm a little jealous. The Hawkeye basketball team's going to be in action tonight at Carver Hawkeye, taking on Chicago State. I'm ready for them to play somebody. I really, you know, I'm watching UConn, Arizona last night, and think about this. Arizona, the story with Arizona is incredible, and it shows you again how good the Big 12 is going to be. But Arizona beat UConn at UConn 71-67. They become the first college basketball team since Kansas in 1989 to start the season off having beaten two teams ranked in the top three. They've also beaten UCLA, which was ranked 15th at the time. So 3 of their 5 wins are against top 25 schools. One was ranked 15th. The others were ranked 3rd. Florida was ranked 3rd, defending national champion. And then you go to UConn, which was ranked 3rd, and you win there. So I see these games being played, and I watched Alabama, Illinois last night, and you're like, gosh, these games matter. They seem to matter, you know, and it's and I get what Ben McCollum's doing, but it's time to play somebody that you really can test yourself. And it's coming up. They got Ole Miss, but it's just like, I'm waiting to look. I want to see how good this Hawkeye team is.
Yes, Travis, I agree with every word that you said there. I want them to play somebody great, but I understand what Ben McCollum did in cultivating the schedule the way he did, and I'm glad he did. I mean, he's in such a different role right now than what he's going to be in a couple years, and quite frankly, he's handling it in a way different approach than we've seen Hawkeye coaches do in the past. Not that Fran McCaffrey didn't also schedule some cupcakes in the non-con. Most teams have a bunch of cupcakes in the non-con. Most teams pay Lipscomb and Campbell and Robert Morris and these teams to show up to take a licking so that they can get their bearings about them. We're gonna find out. I mean, in the next month, before we get to, so right now it's November 20th. Dude, do you realize before December 20th, in the next month, Hawks are going to have Ole Miss. They're going to play at Michigan State. They're going to have Maryland. They're going to play at Iowa State. Now, you're also going to have Bucknell here. That's the game here in Des Moines on December 20th. You're going to have Western Michigan, and you got this Chicago State game in there. So you've still got a couple of dogs, but that thing that you're asking for, you're going to get it. And I would say, I almost said be careful what you ask for, but I don't necessarily think that's the case here. This Hawkeye team looks good. They are fun. There's a lot of energy on both sides of the ball.
Mr. Scotty Austin said Ben McCollum didn't make the schedule. Yes, he did.
Yeah, he did.
He did. He was on this show. We talked to him about making the schedule, his approach to the schedule, and that's why it took so long for the non-conference portion of the schedule to come out. Ben McCollum made this schedule and
cultivated it for this roster that he knew he was going to have.
Yes.
And that's it's okay. That's not a knock. Again, he's in a way different position, and he understands. Ben's a smart dude. He understands what the expectations are for this year, and it's to make the NCAA tournament. Like we've all talked about. Year one, you got to make the NCAA tournament. You're probably not going to win the Big Ten. He doesn't have a roster to do that. You can't flip this thing around that quickly that all of a sudden you're the best team in the Big Ten. But how do you get to the NCAA tournament if you know you're not going to win the Big Ten? You pile up wins. You're going to have 20-plus wins when you finally are bounced out of the Big Ten tournament, whether that's round 2 or round 3 or round 4.
When you get hot and win it.
Or you get hot and win it, which would be amazing. But if you get bounced out of that tournament, you've got to have that number next to your name. And how do you get that number? Well, you play the Bucknells of the world. You're going to have to play Iowa State. You're going to have to play Michigan State. You're going to have to play some other tough teams. And by the way, we did move past. They did beat Xavier. Now, Xavier's a good basketball team. But
they lost a lot when Sean Miller left for Texas. I mean, so it's kind of a rebuilding year for Xavier. They're not going to be, I don't think, a powerhouse in the Big East. But what it is a better name than Chicago State. It's a better name than some of these teams. So I will give you that. And even if Ole Miss isn't as good as it was a year ago, Chris Beard's a hell of a coach, and you're still playing a Power 5 school. So I just like seeing Power 5 names or Power 4 names, whatever you want to call these things, better than Chicago State. And I'm just ready for it, right? It's like, okay, we know they're good. They've played at home. They've blown some teams out. I just want to see where this team measures up against better competition.
All right, I want to go back here because I think Clayton wrote this into us, okay? Those expectations are too low for Iowa. This team, meaning this roster of guys, when they were at Drake last year, and it's not the exact same roster, but I can't push back on that. It should be a better roster than what Drake had last year. And they did make it to the second round where they lost to Texas Tech down in Wichita last year. So, Travis,
but going through the Missouri Valley Conference and going through the Big Ten Conference are two different things. Also, but let's keep in mind, Ben McCollum had a transfer class that was ranked 12th in the country. Now, again, it's what you put into rankings because you and I don't get into recruiting that much. So you take that at face value, but there are people who believe that transfer class, and Bennett Sturtz is a big part of that. So if you have one of the top 12 transfer classes where you have 12 new players, maybe those expectations are too low. But remember where we're coming from as people who have followed Iowa basketball. Disappointment over the last several years. We've learned not to get our expectations up too much, right? You're like, we've been wounded. We're the jilted lovers. We're like, I'm not quite ready to commit to the emotional well-being of myself to be I'm an Iowa basketball fan, but am I going to go all in and say, this is it? I need to see a little bit more.
I'm with you. And that's what you're asking for. All you're saying is, man, I'm watching these other games and they seem to matter. And it's teams that are top 25 teams playing against each other. And the Hawkeyes play Chicago State. Yep. Piling up them W's, man. Get to 5-0 and then beat Ole Miss. Going up to East Lansing is going to be a tough
Michigan State looked so good the other night.
That's going to be the game where we're really going to – that'll be one to tune into and watch closely, and we can have for the – I mean, Ole Miss can too, and Xavier can. You can take things away from those games. And like we've talked about, you can take things away from these non-conference games when you're winning them by 30 because that's what you're supposed to do. Tonight should be like that. Is there even a – I mean, the line on this thing is 32.5.
Jesus. First meeting against Chicago State since 2017, and they've never lost to Chicago State. I think a perfect 5-0 against Chicago State. But yeah, I'm just, and this is where college basketball does such a good job early in the season, is that you get. Not saying that Kansas doesn't play an easy schedule. Not saying that some of these other teams don't play patsies, but when you see these neutral site games and these high profile games, like you get that March feeling in November, and college basketball is masterful at sucking you in early on to the college basketball season and going, okay, I know football's here, and if my team's kind of out of it, like Iowa and Iowa State, you're like, I'm going to invest in college basketball now. I just sat down here in the studio last night watching UConn and Arizona, going, oh, this is high-level basketball. This is big boy basketball. This is that March feeling. And just watching Danny Hurley, storm the sidelines and watch Arizona do what it does.
University of I almost said Chicago State. I almost said the University of Chicago. University of Chicago was the school. They were an original Big Ten school.
They're still a Big Ten school. Even though they don't have it, they're still considered part of the research part of the Big Ten, I believe.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. I believe the University of Chicago is still a Big Ten school. But
I didn't know that. See, in my head for a moment, when you were talking about Chicago State, I had this thing that went through my head of like, oh, yeah, they were one of the original Big Ten schools. No, it was University of...
Let me check on that just to make sure.
University of Chicago.
Yeah.
That I mean, it wouldn't surprise me, dude. It's like when people say, again, I kind of mock the conference loyalty thing. When people are like, oh, I'm a Big 12 fan, I always want to say things like, oh, you mean Northern Colorado?
By the way, I was inaccurate in my statement. They are no longer part of the Big Ten. They do have the Academic Alliance.
There you
That's
go.
What it is.
Oh, then still part of the conference.
Yeah.
Man, think of what they're going to do with all that UC money. I'm kidding. They don't get it.
Yeah, so the Academic Alliance was renamed the Big Ten Academic Alliance in 2016. This is a separate academic focus group, and the university's membership, it does not make it a member of the Big Ten Conference. So it's still aligned from the academic standpoint, which the University of Chicago is a really good academic school.
Chicago State was one of those schools when I was a video game player, Travis, there was an NCAA basketball video game. And when you play one of these NCAA games, you can kind of, you can create your coaching career. And then just like happens with real coaches, the first job you have to take is a really low-level job. You have to take one of the worst teams in the country and take over that team and then coach them up. Chicago State was one of those schools that you could pick as like the worst teams in the country.
People are going, I didn't know Chicago was a state. Because you have, let's just look at the schools in Chicago. You have DePaul, you have Loyola Chicago, you have Illinois Chicago, you have Chicago State, and you have the University of Chicago. Are there any other Division I schools in Chicago?
I don't believe Columbia College of Chicago is a Division I school, but
no.
I just Googled colleges in Chicago. You nailed them all. Loyola. Oh, the Illinois Institute of Technology.
Oh. And the Illinois or the Chicago Art Institute.
Okay. See, look at that. All sorts of them. There's the City Colleges of Chicago, Chicago State University. Holy cow. And then there's just a plethora of like the Moody Bible Institute, the Erickson Institute.
Northwestern's in Chicago.
Yeah, the big one.
Yeah, let's forget about North.
They're north of Chicago.
They're in Evanston. In Evanston.
Yeah. Surprised you didn't know that.
Yeah. We didn't forget the Demons. I said DePaul early on. Yeah, I said DePaul.
Who used to be really good.
Because Ray Meyer could cheat. But they had all those Chicago kids stayed and went to DePaul back in the 70s and really early 80s. But yeah, DePaul hasn't been the same.
I won't fact check it, but Rev says there is a college school of weed. They call it Marijuana U.
Marijuana U.
I'm kidding.
I like that. Marijuana U. So the Hawkeyes are home tonight. They're going to take on Chicago State. The Hawkeye women this is what we're looking for. They're in the WBCA, I think the Women's Basketball Coaches Association showdown down in Orlando. They're going to take on number 7 Baylor tonight. So that will be a showdown. Doesn't start till like 8 o'clock Central. But this will be a good test for Jan Jensen to see where this team is. A good measuring stick against a top 10 team, a name school. So I'm actually looking forward to watching the Iowa women more than I am the Iowa men, because if they get to the broadcast late tonight with Chicago State like they did the other night against SEMO, it could be over. Like, they got to the game 2 minutes late, and you're like, oh, this thing's over. The Iowa women should be a much better contest tonight.
We knock on the Iowa men's schedule. Look at that Iowa women's schedule. And that's a top 20 team that has played Southern, Evansville, Drake and UNI. They're also going to play Western Illinois, Fairfield, Lindenwood. Now you sprinkle in Baylor, Iowa State, who's a top 15 team right now. Yeah. And 1 month from today, on December 20th, Iowa and number 1 UConn.
Ooh, I forgot about that. But see, that's what you have to do. You have to spread one in early, and you have to spread. Just give yourself an. It's not like Kansas is playing Duke every single night. It's not, Arizona is about the only team that's played a really, really tough schedule to this point. Yeah. When you play 3 top 25, really top 15 teams, but you have those marquee matchups just early enough to go, okay, I know where this team sits. I know how good they are. Kentucky, on the other hand, may be going, we don't want to do this anymore because they've already lost to Louisville and they've already lost to Michigan State, and they haven't looked good doing that. There are dangers to doing it, but after 5 games, I'm just ready to see Iowa play somebody else. We mentioned the Iowa women. There's going to be a big game over at the Knapp Center tonight. That is when the Iowa State women take on the Drake women. And Iowa State's won, 4 of the last 6, I believe, in this matchup. Ross, if I had to ask you, what is the longest winning streak for Iowa State in the Drake series? What do you think it is?
Oh, boy. I wouldn't even know where to... 10.
I was actually kind of surprised with 3. From 1975, 76, and 77 is the most Iowa State has won consecutively in the series against Drake. Drake actually has a...
Drake's been good. What? Yeah, Drake has been really good.
It has been. Even going back to the pre-NCAA days, which was those 70s and early 80s, Drake has always had a really good women's basketball program, and they have an overall winning record against Iowa State in Des Moines, 19-12 advantage. Drake's off to a tough start this year. They're 1-2. They got blown out by Iowa. I believe they got beat by Creighton, and tonight's not going to be an easy game either. I mean, Bill Fenley's got a loaded team this year.
Did you see Pat McAfee talking about Audie Crooks?
No.
Dude, he had a whole thing about Audie, about how I have found my new favorite college basketball player. And he's like, when Iowa State is playing, my phone is lighting up with people telling me about it. He's like, and I'm telling you right now, wait till March. March is going to be the Audie Crooks show. He's like, she's unstoppable. And I think that a lot of us that have been paying attention for a while, man, she is just really easy to root for. There's something about Audie that, and again, I'm glad to hear Pat McAfee say it, because my initial reaction or my initial take would have been, well, yeah, we do that because she's an Iowa girl. We do that because she's playing at Iowa State. But there is something that's more, that's an appeal there. And the fact that when she went for the 43 in 20 minutes the other night, that was the thing that really kind of bumped her into a different stratosphere of attention. When Pat McAfee's talking about you on the show, you're doing something right. Hopefully.
You wonder if, when he says his phone's blowing up, if it's Tyrese Halliburton, who he's good friends with, has on his show quite a bit. Even Caitlin Clark going, hey, you need to be paying attention to this, right? I mean, because Tyrese is always promoting Iowa State, which he should. He's a grad. You wonder if that's who's texting him going, pay attention here. What I think what makes Audie, and we've talked about it, so unique is that there's nothing flashy about it. She just, it's workmanlike. It is methodical. It's like you think you can stop her, and then you can't. And it's just like, wow. She just gets, because it's not flashy, but just workmanlike.
Gets it done.
Yes. Well. Hey, did you see this story about the former Olympic snowboarder Ryan Wedding?
You put this in the rundown. I'd never seen that name. In fact, when you put the Ryan Wedding story, I thought you meant like Rex Ryan got married. And,
no,
foot
Ryan Wedding was a Canadian Olympic snowboarder, and he was in the Olympics in 2002 when it was in Salt Lake City. You'd think an Olympian, you go on to do big things. You're a promoter of the sport within your own country, which is pretty big in Canada. Ryan Wedding is now, Ross, on the FBI's 10 most wanted list. The FBI has a $15 million basically bounty on him for information that leads to his arrest. He is accused of being one of the largest drug kingpins in Canada and also accused of murder.
What?
Yes. The FBI says that Wedding has run more cocaine into Canada than anybody else. Anybody else. 60 metric tons from Mexico to Canada every year for $1 billion operation. Here's a complete list of charges against Wedding.
Tons
metric
of cocaine?
Tons of cocaine. Here are the charges. Conspiracy to distribute and possess with the intent to distribute cocaine. Conspiracy to export cocaine. Conspiracy to commit murder in connection with the continuing criminal enterprise and drug crime. Murder in connection with the continuing criminal enterprise and drug crime. Conspiracy to tamper with a witness, victim, or informant. Tampering with a witness, victim, or informant. Conspiracy to retaliate against a witness, victim, or informant. Retaliation against a witness, victim, or informant. And conspiracy to launder monetary instruments. He goes by El Jefe, Giant, Public Enemy, James Conrad King, and Jesse King.
He goes by the Snowman. He got like 60. Dude, a metric ton is more than a U.S. ton.
I don't know.
Yeah, a metric ton is like 2,200 pounds. So 60 metric tons of cocaine.
Yes. Making him the big deal in Canada.
Dude, does he have a barge? How do you 60 metric tons of cocaine? I can't even imagine how much space. And I know it's not all in one. I know he didn't do it in one haul.
Yeah.
But like, I can't even imagine how much physical space that would have to occupy.
Meaning that had to go from Mexico through the United States to get to Canada.
Probably came through Des Moines.
Yeah.
Might have come
Probably
right
a pretty
up,
good shot at it.
Came on right up I-35.
Pretty good shot at it. Kind of reminds me of that story, the guy from USC who started running drugs, right?
Cocaine quarterback. That documentary that's out. Yeah.
Cocaine quarterback has nothing on this guy.
Nothing, dude. Nothing. That's small potatoes compared to this. That's got to be Travis. And Tyler wrote it and said that's got to be a private jet or an airliner, and I'm with him. That had to have been.
They didn't say in the story, but
you've got to have multiple way, dude. That's an insane. Does it say how long he's been doing this? Because how old is a guy? I've never heard of this guy.
He's 44.
I've never heard that name that I can. Ryan Wedding. I mean, I can't, dude. What was I can't think of any famous snowboarders or skiers. Shaun White.
Shaun White's
and then
about it, right?
Who was the Brody guy that was so?
Was it Brody Boyd?
Brody Boyd. Thank you. And then wasn't there a lady named like Peekaboo Street?
Peekaboo Street.
These are the only folks I can come up with that have ever made a living skiing down a hill. So,
you mentioned a private jet, but the charges are related to drug trafficking in the United States. And when you make the FBI's top 10, you're a badass dude. You're a badass.
Well, you're a bad dude.
Yeah. Not badass in a good way. You're just
you're just a bad dude, man.
You're just a bad dude.
Holy cow. Those numbers are, I mean, almost unbelievable.
He'll be sitting in jail one day, or he's being protected, they believe, by the cartels in Mexico right now. Like they're because that's business, right? They're going to take care of the giant. So
Kojin says Brody Boyd was a Hawkeye football player. Who was the guy we were talking about? Wasn't there a skier with? Am I crazy?
No, I remember this. There was a Brody skier.
Oh, Bodie Miller.
Not
Brody.
Okay. Bodie. It all sounds the same.
And we were so close.
Yes.
We were so close. Thank you, Holly.
Thank you, Holly.
Thank you, Holly. Thank you, Kojins. They were the first ones to be like, hey, idiots.
You guys are stupid. Can you imagine they're watching, they're going, you guys are stupid. You're stupid.
Yeah, yeah. But here's the thing. You don't know when you're wrong. You don't know. Don't you wish your brain could do that? Like you wanted to say something and your brain would go, no, that's not a fact. You're pulling that from a different part.
Come here. Come in real quick.
Just us girls chatting here. What's up?
We're going to be close to that when Elon puts the AI chip in our brain.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was telling Flag this the other day. I'm like, man, I'm amazed that, and I imagine sometime as our brains evolve, that we and maybe that's going to be it. It's going to be the AI chip. But like Travis, let's do this real quick. How many doors are in your house?
In my house? Doors?
Yep, doors. Watch his eyes. See his eyes? See what he did there, folks? See what he did? See how his eyes went to the left like that? So that means that Travis was recalling something that is fact in his head.
Yeah, because the only door in this room is right here. So then I start going, okay, how many? There's 1, 2, 3, 4.
See his eyes go up
5,
and left?
6.
See his eyes go up and left like that? So this is how you can tell if somebody this is like a little CIA trick and tell. So now, Travis, let's try to think of if I told you that the University of Chicago doesn't have a mascot, what should the mascot be for the University of Chicago?
The Maroons, because somebody said that earlier.
Okay, then let's pick a different one. What about you asked me about the University of Anchorage. Anchorage State is going to start. What should their mascot be?
The Mastodons.
I saw your eyes go to the right a little bit as you said that, okay? So your creative part of your brain, you recall that way. When you're recalling something that's real, you go up, your eyes go up and left, all right?
Oh.
So why can't our brains know when we're reciting fact or we're recalling opinion?
Because we believe it's fact when we're saying it.
Bam.
Which means we think we're right all
You wouldn't say it. If you didn't think you were right, you wouldn't say it. Brody Boyd.
Or Bodie Miller. It's the same
thing. Yeah, they're the same guy.
Though, good on Hawkeye fans for remembering Brody Boyd.
Good job. Good job on that.
Really. 515-517-2303. It is the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. Bruno joins us next on the Rush Radio Show.
The Rush Radio is now on the free TuneIn app, allowing you to enjoy the show on Apple products and Android Auto. Download the free TuneIn app and search The Rush Radio to take Travis and Ross wherever you go.
Your house wasn't built for bats, birds, or raccoons, but try telling them that. At Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions, we've been helping Iowans take back their homes for over 20 years. We use cost-effective, eco-friendly methods to solve wildlife and pest problems the right way. Whether it's bats in your attic, birds in the vent, raccoons in your chimney, or moles in your yard, we have long-term solutions. Call Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions today at 515-218-3400, and let's make sure your home doesn't become their home.
There's more Iowa in the Iowa Tap Room than you may realize. Housed in a building nearly as old as Iowa itself, the Iowa Tap Room greets you with a harvest of 120 Iowa craft beers on tap from all corners of the state. And the food doesn't get much more Iowa than this. The Iowa Tap Room, all Iowa beer, one amazing place.
There's always something new at Fong's Pizza. The patio is open and ready for you, your friends, and an ever-changing menu of tiki drinks. Or try our new noodle dishes alongside your favorite slice. It's all happening this summer at the new Fong's in the East Village.
Thinking about buying a home? Get pre-approved in 30 minutes with Gary Presnell at Northwest Bank in Des Moines. Gary offers first-time home buyers programs, VA, FHA, IFA, and conventional loans. Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
You know, Brian, at Central City, we really do have the best selection around.
I know. High-quality stuff you can't find anywhere else.
Whistle Pig Plantation Rum.
Yeah, and over 150 of the best scotches on earth.
And a ton of bitters, mixers, and more.
You know what we are? High class.
Definitely high class, yeah.
Make way for the natty.
Okay, maybe medium class.
Central City Liquor is home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the Wooden Nickel program.
After Hawkeye football games this fall, Travis and Ross are right where they belong, with you taking your calls and giving unfiltered feedback. Right after Hawkeye football games, it's the Black and Gold Rush on the rushradio.com, the TuneIn app, and on YouTube.
A fuel choice that even rivals can agree on? Now that's worth the hype. Cheaper, cleaner, and homegrown. Pump it up with Unleaded 88.
November is here, and that means Thanksgiving's right around the corner. And here at Willis, we are thankful for you, our guests, for entrusting us with your vehicle and service needs. The holiday season means travel, and that means extra miles on your car that can cause wear and tear. Save that for your pants after all that turkey. And while we can't fix your slacks, we can make sure your car's in tip-top shape. So come on down to Willis for 10% off an oil change. Give us a call or schedule online at LandRoverDesMoines.com.
For the holidays, bring real taste to the table with Gold Peak Real Brewed Tea. Made with real tea leaves and real cane sugar, Gold Peak delivers a golden, brewed for taste flavor that makes every moment more meaningful. Whether you're gathering with family or friends, celebrate the moments that matter the most, because real connections deserve real refreshment. For your upcoming holiday celebrations, choose Gold Peak Tea and bring real taste to the table.
Like a rash you thought was gone. Travis and Ross aren't contagious, but they are addictive. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
You know, on the Rush Radio Show, we talk about winning, and nobody wins like Willis Automotive. From luxury to everyday dependability, Willis has the ride that fits your lifestyle. Stop by Willis in Des Moines and experience the Willis way. Exceptional service, unmatched selection, and the people who truly care. Welcome to the Rush Radio Show. If you're listening on the audio stream at therushradio.com, Rush Radio Android app or the TuneIn app, thank you so much. Watching on YouTube this morning, hit that subscribe button. Go ahead. Hit the little bell so you can get us an alert every time we come on the air. And, of course, like the video and leave your comments. Follow us on our social media channels, X, Facebook, Instagram, and now TikTok. I'm Travis Justice. He's Ross Peterson. We've changed things around a bit this week. Todd Stepsis normally joins us at 7. He asked, hey, can I switch spots with Bruno? And I think Coach Stepsis is a listener because he texted me. He goes, hey, can Bruno switch? The fact that he said Bruno by Bruno, I go, oh,
he knows.
Coach Stepsis is a listener. What's up, Bruno?
Not much. I don't know much about the UNI football team, but I'm going to do my best on the switch up today.
Attaboy.
Wouldn't that be amazing if we were like, all right, well, Bruno, we talk UNI football here, so let's break down the game, and then we'll have Coach Stepsis on to tell us about all the wonderful things happening in the world of full court press.
Yeah. Just speaking of listening to you guys, I was listening to you guys go on for quite a long while with all these questions and looking at everything, and basically you just described an episode of Seinfeld. It's not a lie if you believe it's true.
Yeah,
Words of Wisdom by George Costanza.
And if you say it, you probably think it's true, unless you're just lying.
I don't know.
And everybody accuses me of being in the CIA, but Ross went through this Jedi CIA mind crap, and I'm like, oh, you're the one in the CIA.
Yeah, I can't
you're the
believe
one.
That's one that's been around for a while. I thought that was something that people were kind of aware of.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that one, but I've been lying all 15 years being on the show, so.
Yeah, something
I
like
actually drive for Ankeny Sanitation.
No, you own
Ankeny
Sanitation.
It's the first thing I could think of. I don't know.
Hey, were you listening right around 6:30 by chance? Were you listening this morning?
No, I was wondering why the hell my alarm's going off at 6:30. That's what
I'm going to replay this because I think you'll appreciate it.
Oh yeah.
So the Duax family over at Central City Liquors has been working on some new creative. Have you heard this?
Yeah. At Central City.
He's got
it.
It's already the earworm.
It's already in there.
Love it.
Yeah, it's killing me. I've shown it. I've played it to a lot of people. The first people to hear it in my house, my daughters, and they were dancing in the kitchen, and they're like, "That's really good."
Yeah,
it's really good.
I heard it last night. And I'm like, "That's amazing." That's so.
It's where
perfect.
I go for all my booze
and loitering. They got it. They captured the essence in 30 seconds of what Central City Liquors.
Start spreading the news.
I love that you guys are both.
It's the new 588-2300 Empire today.
Ooh. There's a lot of those.
Menards save big money at Menards.
Have you guys ever had? Have any of the full court press places had a jingle?
Mm-mm.
No, I don't think so. You've done well without that. When you guys started, and let's get real nerdy about your business here for a while. I don't know why this just popped into my head, because I remember when Royal Mile first got launched, when El Bait Shop and High Life Lounge were first becoming like a prominent part of Des Moines. You guys just kind of approached things in a different way. You didn't do a lot of traditional things, and you found great success. I don't want to say you found great success right away. Did you feel like you found great success?
We were a shock to the system of the sports bar, meat market, and dive bar industry in Des Moines.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I was trying to say. Thank you for being a little
bit more like,
pointed.
what is this, and why are they doing it? Yeah, no, we did something thematic. We do our themes. Our places are thematic, and that's just how it goes. It's developed over time into more business driven, if you will. But on the front end, it's British pub. You can't. What is a British pub to you? And you can just kind of make it into what you want. Of course, then we got the people, and it's like, well, this isn't a British pub, and this isn't a German beer hall, and it's like, yeah, this is our version of it. It's like saying your mom makes better spaghetti than my Italian mom makes better spaghetti than your Irish mom or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what? It's like it's what we make. It's our take on that stuff, and it's done really well. 24 years coming on next month at the Royal Mile. I think we figured it out. We felt like we didn't, worst sales we've ever had was July of 2001. We were wondering if we really might have made a mistake, and I was wondering if I was going to have to go back to whatever the hell Equitable of Iowa is called these days. I don't think it was ING, but then they changed it to something else. Anyway, I don't work there. Don't need to know. So,
what did you do at Equitable?
Desperately tried to figure out what I was going to do next.
How to get out of there?
What am I going to do with my life?
I used to. My first job was I bound policies, like physically bound. Made a book out of people's insurance policies with a lady. She was like 60 some years old she called it Indianola. And she and I, it was kind of fun to hang out. I'm a 20 something and she's 60 something, and she's all done up, makeup, and she was really funny. But yeah, I was binding policies. I basically said, I will do anything at your company. I just want to do something here. I can't take it at Best Buy anymore. So that's what I did. And then next thing you know, I called myself a glorified secretary. I typed, I think, like 10 words a minute, but I had to type in policies. And
are you a hunt and pecker, or can you actually type?
I do the QWERTY, but it's still slow, but it worked okay. But I sat next to this lady she was a lawyer for the company, and she got all the phone calls about like how the agents are out there breaking the law, breaking the rules of the company. And sometimes it was really interesting. And I got real close to losing my job there, and it was when my goatee was like 6 inches long too. So that Van Dyke, I guess, is the best way to call it. But my office, I could look down the street, down Locust, and right to the state capitol. It was really cool in the Equitable building, really cool old building, and it was good. And then I got a job. I was in charge of this new thing called the internet, and I had to go out and make sure our name was used correctly out there. And I was getting to define what my job was, and then I found out what sea change means, and then they said, "Yeah, we don't need you anymore." And I'm like, "Oh my God, what am I going to do?"
You were one of the first guys to lose your job to AI.
It was sort of kind of like, well, it wasn't AI. Well, Al.
Al.
I thought it was AI, but the guy was named Al. So, sometimes the I looks like an Al. I lost my job to Al.
I lost
How'd they
the job.
fire you? Did they walk you out the door with a box, or how'd they fire you?
They're like, you're going to have to take down all this intricate photocopy art you've been doing over the years out of your office. That's what I did. A lot of like cut and paste and a lot of nonsense. I had no business being there, and they're probably lucky that I left. But yeah, and then I was gonna do. I don't know. I'm terrible at math and that kind of thinking. I'm more creative side of the brain, not on left side, not right side.
Yeah.
And I was gonna do Microsoft networking. I was going to make computers talk to each other, and it cost me like over $10,000 to take this course. It was out in West Des Moines. And
that's when $10,000 was $10,000, by the way.
And I'm like, okay. And then every other week I'd take it off and I'd go serve tables at Buzzard Billy's. I asked a friend, hey, do you think you can get me an interview? I got an interview. Next thing you know, I got a job. And every other week I would go try to figure this out. And they let you take the test as many times as you could, but I just couldn't get it. I was like, we're talking like 6 months. But every other week I'd have a grip full of cash in my pocket, and we'd party and we'd have fun, and I'd serve tables, and I loved it. And then I'd hosted, and I bartended, and I cooked, and I dishwashed, and then I'd have to go try to figure this thing out. And just to put it in perspective, my friend from Sweden, he took this course over a weekend and passed it. So, and he's super smart too, by the way, but it doesn't matter. That's like 6 months of 36 hours or whatever, 72 hours. Anyway, I wasn't cut out for it. I decided, you know what, I'm going to eat that money. I'll pay it off and be done with it. And I did it. That money came real quick because I made a lot of money. this is the old me back then talking. I was probably one of the best servers you ever had wait on your table. I was great at it. I knew it, and that's kind of, you need that confidence. They called me the Tom Brady of servers, and he was playing high school back then. No, I don't know. I was really good. I really liked it. I know I couldn't do it now, but I know one thing about serving tables is it's not just anybody can take that job. It's an entry level job, but to be good at it, it takes a lot to be good. I did one time. I took the orders for 10 tables, didn't write one thing down, then went over and typed it all on the computer and got it 100% right.
Wow. Look at you, memory recall.
I didn't write anything down. I found one flaw in that plan. I watched Detroit. What is it? Detroit Rock City? Is that the name of the movie?
Yeah, that was a movie.
And I'm like, it was like noon, and I was at my house, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna smoke a bong because I don't work till 5. I'm gonna take one hit. We'll watch this thing. I walk in, and it was like, when I walk in at 5, I was like, hey man, it's great to be at the party. Let's do this. I forgot every order. I didn't write anything down. Shit went sideways real quick. It was horrible. I don't know how people do it. I really don't.
Weed does affect the short-term memory.
Yeah, it was brutal. It's meltdown like in 15 minutes of my shift. It went from, hey, let's party, to, oh my God,
I can't do this. I can't hear people.
What do you got to eat? What do you got to eat? I need some fries.
Oh my God, I need to,
munchies.
I needed to take something to kick. Red Bull wasn't even out then. That probably something like that. I was gonna say it probably explains this. Have you guys heard the mystery that happened at Purdue University?
No.
They're grappling with a sticky situation on campus. On November 5th, so officers received a call. A man was walking around covered head to toe in peanut butter.
Were there dogs
walking around campus? And here's the funny thing. That's funny too. Here's the funny thing, that this is so 2025. This is what makes me laugh. Witnesses were concerned about safety issues for people with peanut allergies.
Oh my God. We're worried about people with peanut allergies, not worried about a guy walking around head to toe.
Not the mental health of some guy covered in peanut butter, or what could have possibly led him to that.
The
we got people with peanut allergies out of here. This guy's a walking
bomb. I knew that was a good one for today. Investigators are unsure whether the PB man, as they were calling him, is a student or suggested he might be part of a hazing prank. So anyway,
is there a conclusion to this? Did they find out how?
No. I think the punchline of this one is the peanut allergy thing is so great.
Right,
it's so good.
That.
It's amazing.
That's incredible.
Damn. You got an Octobox coming up tonight from Exile at El Bait Shop?
No, but I do have a tackle box at El Bait Shop.
Okay, tackle box.
Yeah, we made a big deal out of calling them both box, and that's kind of confused people maybe, or confused some people. But that said, Exile is going to be at both places, which is also confusing, but also cool, because we worked with the Exile folks recently. We made our new beer, the Rising Hope Tang IPA. Maybe you've seen a video of me saying one small sip for man, one giant beer for mankind. We poured Tang into the brew. Smells like Tang, tastes like Tang. It's pretty good. We are having that tonight along with funnel cake Ruthie. It's made with funnel cake. You got to go try it out. We got some old school ones, Dunkel, Gigi, and Ruthie, Zoltan, Eastside Punch, fruit punch seltzer, donut hole GG, which is a Dunkel with donut holes, and then here's the one that I think, here's my beer that I like. It's called Forge or Nut Brown. It's like, do you guys remember the Newcastle Nut Brown?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Very much like that, except for if you've had Newcastle Nut Brown recently, it's nothing close to as good as it could be. This one is, and it's really great. I highly suggest that beer. I think beers are kind of going back to some of the older styles that are a little bit less alcohol and a little bit not so much
Easier to
stuff
drink.
in them. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean they're fun for drinking occasionally. These crazy triple IPAs or smoothies, sours, and IPAs, pastry IPAs or stouts. But it's really good to drink a really good beer. When you can drink more than one, that's a test of a good beer, if you ask me.
What you're talking about there, Bruno, did that did the I don't want to say the flavored beers, but like the beers with a lot of different stuff in them. Did we reach the tipping point, and we're on the backside of that now?
I think it's a little bit. It's like saying I'm going to have a whole chocolate cake instead of just a piece. It's nice to have some of it. It's just a little over the top if you're going to eat a whole cake. And quite honestly, some of those beers, if you drank multiples, you kind of are eating a whole cake. Lots of calories, and it's just a little bit too much. That's why things like Tercey's Pilsner from Exile, which will be at the Octobox at the library on Friday, is a nice one to try out, or Maria Mexican Lager. Those are two nice, just plain beers. But we'll also have some other ones like the Christmas beer, the Doppelbock, Forged Nut Brown, like I just mentioned. The Dankelope, if you like the hops, that's always a good one. Citrus Sky IPA, hazy. Then the Rising Hope's also going to be there. And then Raspberry Bohemian, which is another one of their older ones, the raspberry flavored kettle sour. And then the one that made him famous, Jesus on a Forklift, Imperial Stout aged in bourbon barrels, will also be at the library tomorrow, which I also may stop by.
Just the Jesus on a Forklift, no variant on that, just the old traditional.
No, I think it's just the old traditional. We are pulling together, FYI, we are doing Black Friday once again this coming Black Friday at the bait shop, and we have 11 beers. One very special beer we got. I don't think anyone's ever seen it outside of the tap room from Toppling Goliath, barrel aged beer. We got some oatmeal stouts, Cookie Monster from Confluence, some really interesting beers. Charles and I handpicked 11 different beers. Should be a good time. Some great beers we picked for that. It's sort of like a little bit of a teaser because on the back of our menu will be save the date for barrel aged brunch. So
there's a little teaser for that.
Yeah. February 7th. Save the date. You heard it here first.
There it is.
February 7th.
Write that down, Ross, because I know that's big for you.
I don't have my notebook in front of me today.
I'm going to tell you another thing that I was sort of teasing this, but I'm just going to start talking about it in 2026. But I'm going to start. So the Iowa Tap Room, all Iowa beer, one amazing place. The bait shop turns 20 this year. Never had a tagline. The new tagline, which I'm working on, haven't put it out into the world yet, but I'm saying it right now, is El Bait Shop. Have a good one.
Huh, I like that.
Because if you're gonna go out and have a beer, craft beer, and you want to try one, have a good one. And who has the best ones? The Bait Shop has them. And if you're gonna go out and enjoy some craft beer, make sure you have a good one. Don't just waste your time on beers that may or may not be that great. And we'll ensure that the beer you have is great by getting you the kind of beer you like, and we'll also ensure it by having the beers we know are good before we ever even hand them over to you. So El Bait Shop, have a good one. It's sort of like it's a take on Malort. I'll have another. But no. So it's the opposite of that.
Travis, you know what Malort is?
What is it?
And I'm just going to be yeah. We've talked about it. It's the drink in Chicago that they give people as like a prank almost.
It's the famous Swedish liqueur from Carl Jeppson.
I wouldn't call it famous or sweet, but
they do in their fake commercial they're shooting. If you ever watch the video,
is that what they do?
Yeah, Malort.
They call it infamous and bitter.
All right, Bruno, we got to get to some off your couch readings. So we'll get you back to your regular time next week. Okay, you'll be out at 7:30 next week.
All right, well, you bet. Sign up for that newsletter. Go to the Promenade down in the East Village this weekend and over the next few weekends for shopping, and stop have a drink at our places, and then at Hessen House, Krampus-ish Christmas starts pop up this Friday. So get out there, start enjoying your holiday.
All right, buddy. We'll see you next week. Thanks.
See you, Bruno.
See you.
Bruno.
Bye, buddy.
Don't forget the Fiscus Gem Trunk Show is coming up on Saturday, and we want you to go to Ankeny and check this out. It goes from 9 to 3. You can pick your favorite gemstone, design a custom holiday piece, get $250 off custom design, and it's only on that day. There's going to be fun giveaways throughout the day. Perfect time to create something one of a kind. Fiscus Jewelers, your jeweler for life. And do us a favor. When you go see Noel at Fiscus Jewelers, tell him, hey, we've been hearing about you on the Rush Radio Show. Just so he's a new partner of the Rush Radio Show, we'd love for you to say, hey, Noel, Rush Radio Show. We got a couple off the couch submissions.
I don't have my notebook, Trav, so we're going to have to I can't write these ones down here.
And we're going to announce the winner tomorrow. So these are the last two that came in.
Here, I'll write it on a coffee filter.
This one is from Ryan.
Okay.
3 years ago, I was offered a job opportunity that was going to be life-changing. Turns out it was life-changing, but not in the way I was hoping. I had known the person for 15 years and thought a handshake deal was good enough. Obviously didn't work out. And through 3 job changes in 18 months, 2 relocations in 3 years, my wife has stood by me. This woman is a saint. She deserves better than me. Therefore, I would like to give her a jewel. That is hard.
That's a good one. That's a good one. How'd you end up on the couch? I tried to improve our life and made a bad mistake.
And it happens.
It does.
It happens.
I'm helping one of our listeners is a buddy of mine who I helped sell his home in the east side. He moved to Windsor Heights, and then he got offered this great opportunity to move up to the cities in Minnesota. And he called me a couple months ago, and he's like, dude, I'm coming back home. And I thought, oh, this is good news. This is, the job did so well, he's going to expand to Des Moines. And very similar situation. He's like, no, man, I got sold a bag of goods here, and I gotta get back to town. So that happens, man. I feel bad for you, Ryan.
This one comes from Joe. Along with my full-time job, I worked for a farmer on the side for 15 plus years. We were transferred to the Quad Cities for my full-time job with our 5-month-old son, and my wife was pregnant. We were then transferred to the Des Moines area with 3 kids under 5 years old. The weekend after we moved into the Des Moines house, I told my wife, hey, I'm going to go back home and plant some corn. With work, the move, and 3 kids, I did not realize it was Mother's Day weekend.
Oh, dude.
When we came home late Sunday, she greeted my son with open arms. Me, not so much. Let's just say I have always had Mother's Day weekend on the calendar to make sure it's taken care of. She reminds me and our friends of that often.
Did you ever screw up something like that?
Dude, here's the deal. I'm a lot like Joe and a lot like the guys. I live in my own world. And that's why my wife and I, y'all think it's crazy. We don't celebrate our birthdays, Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, Father's Day. We go on our yearly trips, and that's what it is, right? We throw it all into one because I'm a selfish, narcissistic bastard. And she knows that. Like one of my coworkers got flowers delivered to her yesterday at work, and I'm like, oh, what'd your boyfriend do wrong? She's like, what do you mean? I go, well, he sent you half a dozen roses. What'd he do wrong? No, he just loves me. I'm like, I haven't sent my wife flowers in 20 years. And all of a sudden I hear in the back the executive assistant going, Travis! I'm like, what? I go, every time I buy my wife something, she's like, man, you failed miserably. Because I went to like Hy-Vee to get the last batch of flowers 20 years ago. And I'm like, oh, these are expensive. These are expensive. Oh, they're getting rid of this in a happy face cup mug. I go, this will cheer up. It's the thought that counts. No, it's not. Thought doesn't really count. You may think that it counts, but under their breath, they're going, this is crap.
Man, it's the thought that counts is such a weird saying.
It is.
It's like I always think about reaching out to friends. You know what I mean? Your cousins, the Austins. I'll think about them often. I'll be like, oh, I should reach out to the Austins and, just see how they're doing. And that thought flies by your head, and then you're laying in bed at 3 a.m. and you go, oh, I've never reached out to my friend. I need to tell him I was thinking about him. The thought doesn't count. The thought didn't count for shit. You didn't do anything. You got to do something.
So we will announce our off-the-couch winner tomorrow. Ross has been doing a good job We got some good ones to go for.
We
And
do
thank you
have
to
some
everybody.
good ones.
Thank you to everybody who took the time in to be vulnerable with us, tell us their stories, because it's just a reminder. We all screw up every now and then, but even with your screw up, you should get rewarded, or at least the significant other in your life should get rewarded. When we come back on the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive, Northern Iowa head coach Todd Stepsis joins us. Talk to Panthers' last football game of the season. It's coming up Saturday at the Unidome against Youngstown State. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. For the holidays, bring real taste to the table with Gold Peak Real Brewed Tea. Made with real tea leaves and real cane sugar, Gold Peak delivers a golden, brewed for taste flavor that makes every moment more meaningful. Whether you're gathering with family or friends, celebrate the moments that matter the most, because real connections deserve real refreshment. For your upcoming holiday celebrations, choose Gold Peak Tea and bring real taste to the table.
Your house wasn't built for bats, birds, or raccoons, but try telling them that. At Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions, we've been helping Iowans take back their homes for over 20 years. We use cost-effective, eco-friendly methods to solve wildlife and pest problems the right way. Whether it's bats in your attic, birds in the vent, raccoons in your chimney, or moles in your yard, we have long-term solutions. Call Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions today at 515-218-3400, and let's make sure your home doesn't become their home.
November's here, and that means Thanksgiving's right around the corner. And here at Willis, we're thankful for you, our guests, for entrusting us with your vehicle and service needs. With holiday season comes travel, and all those extra miles can cause wear and tear on your car. Save that for your pants after all that turkey. While we can't fix your slacks, we sure can make sure your car's in tip-top shape. So come on down to Willis for 10% off an oil change. Give us a call or schedule online at willisvolvocars.com.
After Hawkeye football games this fall, Travis and Ross are right where they belong, with you taking your calls and giving unfiltered feedback. Right after Hawkeye football games, it's the Black and Gold Rush on the rushradio.com, the TuneIn app, and on YouTube.
A fuel choice that even rivals can agree on? Now that's worth the hype. Pump it up with Unleaded 88.
Hey, it's Noel from Fiscus Jewelers. This holiday season, give the gift of sparkle that lasts a lifetime. From our latest designs to timeless favorites, there's something for everyone on your list. Already have a Fiscus diamond? Bring it in and trade up with our 100% trade-up program. It's the perfect way to shine a little brighter this year. And if you're dreaming up something custom, get your design started by December 1st for Christmas delivery. Let's make this season magical together. Fiscus Jewelers, your jeweler for life.
The largest selection of German beer in the world? You'll find it at the Hessen House. From Doppelbocks to Oktoberfest to Hefeweizens and Dunkels, there's no passport needed for the deliciously different beer and food at the Hessen House. So grab your friends and make it a fun night out. The Hessen House, 4th and Court, Des Moines.
You know, Brian, at Central City, we really do have the best selection around.
I know, high quality stuff you can't find anywhere else.
Whistle Pig Plantation Rum.
Yeah, and over 150 of the best scotches on earth.
And a ton of bitters, mixers, and more.
You know what we are? High class.
Definitely high class, yeah.
Make way for the natty.
Okay, maybe medium class.
Central City Liquors, home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the Wooden Nickel program.
It's November and I know what I'm thankful for. A running car for all my travel ahead. To keep your car on the road, bring it into Willis Nissan for brakes, tires, oil changes, the main courses, and the sides. Schedule your appointment online today at willisnissan.com and we'll see you on the service drive.
Back like a rash you thought was gone. Travis and Ross aren't contagious, but they are addictive. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Uh-oh, you there? I don't hear you. I hear your music. What has happened there, Trav? Can't hear you, dude. What is going on? I see Coach Stepsis just joined the show. Is your mic muted again? Remember you muted your mic the other day? Oh, this guy. Look at this guy. There. I see Coach Stepsis. Coach, what's up, man? How are you?
Hey, I'm good. Sorry I'm a little bit late. We just finished practice. As you can see, the turf is ready to go for the 8-man games here coming up in a minute. But, yeah, so nice talking to you guys again.
All right, so this helps me a little bit to understand the time shift, because I knew that you wanted to, you needed to move this today, and we knew that it had something to do with the high school football games, or the high school football championships. But you guys just got done with practice early in the morning here. Yeah, we shifted to the morning this week. You know, there's a couple of reasons. The games, obviously, us being a home, you know, being in the dome, we wanted to make sure that we had a week on the surface and inside, and then just for us coaches, just to be present for all the games. Iowa is really important to us. Iowa high school football is really important to us. And so, we wanted to make sure that, we get our work done, and then we can catch all these games, today and tomorrow. So you guys, you and the coaches are going to be glued. And first of all, you've had a couple of, there's already been some games up there at the Dome. So you've already been able to observe a few of these. Today, you guys are going to kind of get together and really be able to sit down and watch these. Is the team going to do that as well? Yeah. So a lot of the guys actually like watching. And so actually right behind me, so our team
this is
room
awesome,
is
Coach. I love
right
this.
there.
This is so cool that you're down on the field, man. I love it.
Yeah. So the team room, which is right in the corner there, it has a sliding glass that opens up. And so that's where we'll hang out and, catch these games, have some refreshments up there, non-alcoholic, of course, but of course, it's, it'll be fun. And it's just really good teams coached by really great coaches, and our players, they like it in between their classes and what they have to do as well. So it's a pretty fun time.
Travis, do we have you back now? I still can't hear you. Still nothing on my end from you. That's all right.
How about
now? Shout out. Thanks for the shirt, guys.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, Trav, we got you now. I can hear you clapping.
Cool. That
just
looks
needed
good
to clap.
on you.
Just need to get excited.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah,
That's very cool, Coach.
Very, very nice fabric. You guys, I don't know who picked this out for you, but the logo's fantastic and fits great. Appreciate it.
Coach,
Was
you
your-
are the best.
when it
This
got
is
delivered
awesome.
to your house, was your wife like, "What the hell is this?"
she definitely, she took a picture of it and texted it to me and was like, WTF. and so I've been explaining to her that, like, hey, every Thursday, these two guys are really great guys from Des Moines, actually talk about you on the show every now and then, and they want to actually bring you on sometime. And she's like, oh God, rolls her eyes like she always does. But yeah, she definitely took a picture of this and was like, all right, explain yourself.
Love it. All right. Well, and Travis, we were just kind of talking about what's happening with them this week, and obviously today with the high school football games. You got anything you want to add there before we start talking about UNI football?
Well, so you're practicing right now, right?
We just finished up, so I should come over here. So right now, so it's our last really full contact practice of the year, and the freshman offensive linemen are doing frog drills, like little competitions down here. But yeah, we just finished up. We went early just because we wanted to make sure that we were available to watch these games this afternoon, and plus being in the dome this weekend, anytime we play on a Saturday, we want to practice in here as much as we can. So that's the shift to the morning. That's what happened this week. So I think we just missed it. So
That's all right. I love having. I mean, listen, I don't want every week but this is super cool, man. I know you don't normally have practice going on when we're chatting with you. This makes us feel like we're there with you, Coach. I love this.
It does. I like it.
Well, I said it before. Open invitation. Anytime y'all want to come up, man, feel free.
So you're heading into the last game of the season. Is that a bit emotional for you? I mean, this is your first class there, your first team there. How emotional is this week? Even though it hasn't gone as planned, how emotional is this for you as a coach?
What's crazy about it when you think it's not like I recruited these seniors in that are leaving, and so you wouldn't think that it would mean as much, but man, I tell you, as much time as we spend together, and then how we get to know one another, just to, we talk about being the best parts of our day all the time, and seeing these guys every day at practice and meetings, on road trips, just it kind of hits you like a ton of bricks when they run out of the garage for the last time, that you're not going to get to see them every day anymore, and so that stings the heart a little bit. But again, I think if you do it the right way, which I think a lot of coaches are this way, is just because they're not scoring touchdowns for you anymore, you're still their biggest fan, and you're still going to be a part of a lot of those wins that they have, whether it's a job promotion or an engagement or whatever. So, it's bummer that you don't get to see them every day, but it's not like they're gone forever.
All right, so even though you didn't recruit them, does that almost create a special bond that even though they're not your guys, but you spend that time with them, you build that trust with them? Is there something special about that?
Absolutely. Especially like in this day and age, people leave at the drop of a hat. A coach change. So I think it's worse in other sports, but even in football, a coaching change, and then it's like a mass exodus. And these guys, when back in the beginning of December when I met them for the first time, we had a big team meeting that night, and again, it was a bunch of faces that didn't know me, I didn't know them, and I tried to lay out as clear as possible the mission and the vision and what we were wanting to do with them and their lives individually and collectively as a team, and they trusted me. They trusted me that I was telling the truth, and that does. That means a lot to me personally. It means a lot to us as coaches that they were willing to stick it out and see it through. And again, I think, it's never fun to go through the kind of season we've had, but I do believe that because they've gone through something like this, that down the road, they're going to be able to handle anything life throws at them.
I think you're exactly right. I think that goes back to your, that emotion that you're feeling on these last practices and this last game, Coach. Tough times forge friendships, man. Oh, yeah. And you guys have had it hasn't been the ideal season for you or for those seniors, and I think that's a part of what you're feeling here, man. Those tough times really forge those friendships and relationships. So my gut tells me that's a part of what you're experiencing here.
Oh yeah, and then we have a lot of things planned, really around the game for those guys that are leaving. It's they actually get to invite to our team meal. On Saturday before our game, our pregame meal, they get to invite whoever the most influential person of their lives that had to this point. They get to introduce them to the team, and it's just kind of neat to see, just to give an opportunity for our players to say thank you. That we all don't say thank you enough, or I appreciate you enough, but then like for our team, that's what we all aspire to be. We want to make sure that we're making a difference. We're making an impact on somebody else's life or whoever that we come in contact with. So for our players to see what that looks like in real time, I think is really neat. And then just everything leading up to the game, it's all about those seniors. And a lot of these guys, they started here and ended here. So it wasn't like we had a bunch of mid-year dudes that are just coming in for one season, man. There's a lot of homegrown talent that they have a lot of pride in this place.
All right, let me ask you a couple questions. If you brought the most influential person from your life to a dinner like that, who would you bring?
Oh, my dad. It's so easy. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing if it wasn't for him, plain and simple. I always say, like, I don't remember much from my childhood, and everybody's like, CTE. No, it's not it. It's just, everything that we ever did as kids revolved around football, which is kind of how it has to be. And my wife could attest to it, is that my family shares me with my team, just like, I shared my dad with his team. And then if we wanted to still be around my dad, we had to be with him. And so, man, I have so many fond memories as a kid, being at practice, driving the golf cart around. When you're a kid, you think that is the coolest thing. It's probably like farm kids driving things, for the first time. But then, being at school, being on road trips, being on the sidelines on Friday, celebrating the wins, hugging during the losses. I mean, all of those things. And then everything that I learned along the way really had a direct correlation with football and life. And that's, I think sports are like that in general, but there was a blend there, at home where I had a dad, but I also had a full-time head coach that continued to show me the right way to do things and how to have great values and moral and character and all those things. So my dad would definitely be the guy I'd introduce. And it would be emotional for me to do it because, I think I've been very fortunate. Both my parents are alive, and I haven't really had a ton of close people pass away. But my dad's now, 83, and when you think about it, like, oh, he still had, he could still live, for a long time, but I don't get to see him a ton because he's still in Ohio. And in my mind, it's like, well, I see him maybe once or twice a year. If he lives for 10 more years, like that's 10 to 20 more times I'm going to spend with him. And so, like, just thinking about that, like I can, if I had to introduce him to my team, it'd be hard for me to keep it together.
You got Coach, a big one coming up, or go ahead.
My respect for you grows every week, Coach. I mean it. My admiration, my love for you. Every time we talk, you bring something that I just am. You bring tears to my eyes, man. That I think this is the coolest team meeting I've ever heard about. This is such a great idea for you to do. You're just a very appreciative guy of where you are and how you got there, and I love the fact that you allow your team to do stuff like this. Will a lot of guys? Do you know who the guys are bringing to these games or to the meeting? Are most guys bringing a parent or a girlfriend or?
Yeah, there's I would say the majority is a parent or both parents. Cause I mean, sometimes you can't have one without the other.
Yeah,
it's like
true.
picking a favorite kid.
Yeah.
But there actually is a few that are bringing a high school coach.
That's the one I was thinking of. That would have been my third guess. Would have been another coach.
And again, like, why is our profession so great is that, I mean, the opportunity to really make a difference and impact something in a positive way. Like, there's just not a whole lot of professions out there you can do it.
So you get a chance to play maybe spoiler this weekend. You're ending with Youngstown, 17th ranked team in the country. Right now, probably in the playoffs, but if you pull off an upset, you can be the spoiler for Youngstown. And being an Ohio guy, this game probably has a little bit more importance.
Oh yeah. This one, it was funny. I went to there was a banquet here this past week where I buzzed in and they wanted me to give like a little speech for all the award winners who are high school football players here in the area, and all I'm thinking about, because we're playing, is like Youngstown State. Well, I remember, a couple stories. My first ever college action significantly at quarterback was against Youngstown State. And this was back in the 90s when Jim Trussell was there. And it was them in Northern Iowa kind of toe to toe. And, during the season. And then I think Youngstown ended up winning like 3 national titles, during that time. But Youngstown, I know them well. For them to come out here, I love that. I've been, again, my first action in college was at the Ice Castle in Youngstown, and the weather was terrible. And I'm sure it ain't great right now. We're here, man. We got perfect conditions, and it's our team. I think it being senior day, that just adds another level of, hey, full send on this, guys. Like, peel yourselves off the turf, when we're done, and do it for the guys in the locker room. Do it for these seniors that have given so much of their lives to this program, and it's going to be a tough task. I told my wife this, and she rolled her eyes at me, like, what are you talking about? Because they have the best player in the conference at quarterback, period. He is their whole team, and they score a ton of points, and it's all him. Yeah, he is. Now he's got weapons, obviously, to throw to, but like, he's one of the fastest guys on the field. He's built like a linebacker, so it's hard to like arm tackle him and bring him down. Just big plays after big plays, because they got some speedsters on the edge. And I just told my wife, I was like, he's really fun to watch. And she's just like, are you nuts? I want to be going crazy up there watching him run all over the place. But we have a good plan on defense. Just to, how many guys can we keep eyes on him? How many guys can we have that can run and move and keep the umbrella on, because that's how they really beat teams. Is all of a sudden it's a 70-yard gain for a touchdown or a 50-yard gain for a touchdown. And so if we can limit those things, we're definitely going to be in it. And then just offensively, they have given up some points, so we're gonna have to score, which we've struggled to do this year. But I think they've shown some weaknesses and some flaws in some of the things that they do. So can we execute? Can we do it at a high level? And just added the spoiler. It's fun to be a spoiler, and then the seniors having their last go here. We should be ready to roll.
Excellent stuff.
Do you have a game today you're looking most forward to?
Oh yeah.
Xavier plays later. So Cedar Rapids Xavier has always has dudes. I think they've got a couple. I think they got a linebacker, tight end, and a running back that I think have a ton of offers. Like they're like big time. So they're underclassmen. Again, which is like bonkers to me. Like when I first started coaching, it was like I mean, kids had to play their senior season before any college stuff happened. And now that when I first started, that's how it was. And now, man, there's juniors that are committing places and sophomores that have all these offers. And there's a lot of growth that happens, sophomore, junior, senior year. So, that's a challenge, for us is to, hey, do you want to leave some spots, for guys like that to maybe go after here late?
That's what I was going to ask, because I know it's obviously changed a lot from Drake to you and I, and you're probably still kind of figuring out this pattern for you and I. I was wondering, as you said that, like, can you even really target an underclassman or even a junior like that, or do you are you in a position where you kind of have to wait for some of those chips to fall before you start to really target guys?
We can't target underclassmen, and a lot of the ones that we have already, we have a direct connection to. So. Okay. A brother on a team, or dad's an alum, that played here, and his son's really, really good and had a great, junior year, or maybe we have a lot of juniors and sophomores come to our prospect camps in the summer, and someone pops off a real fast time and does well in drills. Well, then all of a sudden the antenna's up, and let's say they're going in their junior year, we see their first 3 highlights and they are legit, and then we can go after those guys early. But usually what happens, and again, the big schools have the staffs that kind of watch what's going on the lower levels. As soon as somebody like us or North Dakota State go after an underclassman, bam, man, it's like Power 4 offer or something along those lines. And the gross thing about recruiting, I think there's a lot of gross things, but no one knows what those offers mean. Like, are those committable offers? Or are they just like me making you feel good, or is it a scholarship offer? Is it a walk-on? Like no one ever, like when people offer stuff early, no one ever says that stuff. I'm a little different. Like, so for the younger guys that we've gone after, like the ones that are juniors right now, they know exactly what it is. They're able to commit at any time. And, but I also am very, very real with them, is that, whether this is me being a little naive, I'm going to believe the commitment. I'm going to honor it, and I'm going to believe that they're not going to jump ship on me and go somewhere else. And I've been burned, by that. But I do think that, the trust and the appreciation there, it does tend to hold guys, for the remainder for sure.
Yeah.
Now, do you get to talk to kids after a game today, or is it? I mean, can you actually like recruit today, or is it? So, can you like after the game go in the locker room and say, "Hey, I like the way you played. Do you like playing here at the Dome?"
Yeah. So anytime it's a contact period, you have to wait till everything's done. So that was always the trick when I was at Drake. The high school state meet and Drake relays, awesome opportunity to connect with different recruits. And so the neat thing about that was you had to wait till they were done running. So sometimes if they had a race at the end of the day, you had to kind of hang out and wait. But at least you got to see them and talk to them and say, hey, great race, great job. And so there's opportunities when they're on your campus to do that.
Are you restricted with talking to the parents as well with that? I mean, is a contact with the parent counts as a contact with the kid?
Yeah, same rules.
Wow.
Same rules apply. Yeah. So and it's, I think parents now understand, as long as you kind of lead with that, like, hey, you know, there's rules in place. I can't have a conversation with you. However, it's great to see. I'll talk to you later. You know, and parents are real understanding with that stuff.
All right, Coach. Good luck this weekend. It's been a fun season talking to you. We won't be strangers. Don't let that be a one-time wear, by the way. Keep wearing that around the house.
Hey, I'm definitely wearing it. And then, hey, I appreciate you guys, having me on. You know, I've always been a fan of the show, but now I'm grateful to be a friend of the show too. This has been awesome.
Very much, Coach. The honor is all ours, man. You have, I know the record wasn't what you were hoping it was going to be this year, but I feel like you, from my vantage point, man, you are laying the groundwork the right way. You're building that brick wall, brick by brick, and keep at it. We have a lot of people that say the same thing. Every time we have you on, man, we got people that say, damn, this is the right dude. We're all cheering for you. You're a good one, and you got a lot of people here in the state rooting for you, man.
So maybe next Thursday we have you and your wife on together. Well, just run that by her.
Hey, I mean, I'm game if you guys are game.
Hell yeah, absolutely. Okay. All right. You tell her she's committed.
She is. She'll be all about it. This will be great.
All right, Coach.
Love it, Coach. Good luck,
see you next
man.
Thursday.
All right, thanks, guys.
Bye, buddy.
Coach Todd Stepsis is joining us on the Rush Radio Show. Oh, man. That'd be fun to have the wife on, right? We get to meet the wife. Talk about chainsaws.
If you had to bring somebody that, if you had a meeting at work and they said, bring the most influential person from your life, bring an Anjanette?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not, because, and here's the deal, and I talk about it every once in a while. Truly the most influential person on my life and career is John Walters. Now, John and I aren't as close as when I interned for him and stuff, but I would not be the broadcaster I am today and where I am today without John Walters. And people don't, John was in my wedding, and I think he thought at the time, God, you're 22. He's a lot older than I was, but he meant that much to me that I wanted him in my wedding. And, John and I don't talk as much as we used to. We still go back and forth every once in a while. But when I look at somebody who shaped me in my career and helped me get to where I'm at today, where I'm able to provide for my family and do stuff like that, it wouldn't have happened without John Walters. I know that. And so John professionally has been the biggest influence on my life.
That's really cool, Travis.
Yeah,
that's good perspective on that. Love it.
How about you?
I'd bring my dad. Yeah, I'd bring my dad. I saw Tyler earlier talking about he lost his mom to cancer, and been there, Tyler. I love you, buddy, and never met you, but that's if I could have my mom with me, she'd be the one, but dad'd be right there.
Hey, don't forget, tomorrow it's the Iowa Lottery Weekly Woo-Hoo, a prize pack that is valued at $90, scratch, match, and win tickets, and holiday-themed scratch tickets as well. So get ready for the Weekly Woo-Hoo tomorrow on the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. Go to iowalottery.org for more information. Enjoy your Thursday, everybody. Tomorrow, Ben Jacobson, head coach of the Northern Iowa basketball team, is going to be joining us as the Panthers get ready to head west. It is the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
I'm loving these wooden nickels, Brian.
Yeah, I suppose everyone is catching on.
Just spend $20 to get a wooden nickel.
It's 25.
Collect 10 and add up the savings on your next purchase.
Some of these are worth $5. That could be huge.
I know, right? That's why you have to spend $20.
It's 25.
Collect 10. It's like money back to you.
Spend 20, you get another wooden nickel.
It's 25.
Collect 10 and add up the savings. It's huge.
Central City Liquors, home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the wooden nickel program.
It's huge.
Hi, I'm John Linares with Willis Lexus, and this November, we're starting early. We are starting our December to Remember sales event today. First off, I want to highlight a special lease on 2026 NX Gas. It's $409 per month with $49.99 due at signing. Or you can take advantage of rates as low as 2.49 for 48 months or 3.49 for 60 months on IS model, all ES models, NX Gas, RX Gas, and TX Gas, and as an added bonus on 2026 RX Gas, NX, and TX Gas models. I invite you to stop in and take a new Lexus for a test drive, or visit us online at willislexus.com, where you'll find some special offers.
'Tis the season to share great taste. Grab a refreshing Coca-Cola and make every moment a celebration. Locally made, nationally loved, Coca-Cola is the real deal when it comes to holiday cheer. Whether you're kicking back after the game or hosting the crew, nothing hits like that crisp, fizzy taste. Make this season yours. Grab an ice-cold Coca-Cola today.
After Hawkeye football games this fall, Travis and Ross are right where they belong, with you taking your calls and giving unfiltered feedback. Right after Hawkeye football games, it's the Black and Gold Rush on the rushradio.com, the TuneIn app, and on YouTube.
Missing a quality home-cooked meal? You know, the kind Mom used to make? Lucky for you, we found her recipe book. Welcome to the High Life. Welcome to the Champagne of Bars.
Every business has priorities, and Priority One Heating and Cooling is no different. As a service provider, we prioritize quality air conditioners and furnaces that will keep your home at your comfort level year-round. As a small business, we prioritize doing things the right way and treating people fairly. As a truly local business, we prioritize our community. As a veteran-owned business, we prioritize duty and commitment. For big business service with local value, trust your home to the place where you are always Priority One.
Back to the Rush. Strong opinions, weak filters, and just enough sense to stay on the air. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.